you know that it is an incredible compliment when someone is willing to return to this event. Rhode Island was one of our lead states outside of South Carolina last year. Ryan Fleming and Stephanie Coro, thank you so much for being with us on 24 Hours of Nothing But Net.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. I'm happy to be here.
Ryan, listen, man, you are such a rock star in Rhode Island. You have made this event possible because you serve as incredible motivation for Stephanie and her team around shooting free throws for 24 Hours of Nothing But Net. What have you been doing in the year since we talked to you last? What have you been doing? What's going on?
So what I've been doing this past year, as you may know, so for this season, for the Anchor Women, I've been athlete coach for USA Games and team manager for Rick Women's Basketball. And as for the Rick side, as you can see, I got these medals right here and this background over here as we became two-time LEC champions. And yeah, that's true. So this is like the exact replica of my cap design, only except I made it computerized. So that was actually really good. And I'm proud to be a two-time back-to-back champion under Coach Cosgrove and as a team manager.
Ryan, you are absolutely killing it. Now tell us a little bit about your responsibilities with the team that has allowed them to win back-to-back championships.
Well, I mean, the same thing as last year. You motivate the team to be the best you can be, getting good quotes from inspirational leaders like Steph or anyone from the Rick alumni. So that was motivation is key. And like, in order to be motivated and ready for another championship, I keep making speeches like at least a minute or two. And as for this year, after we won the Lily's Conference Championship, we became in the NCAA champions. The tournament, but we lost in the first round. But I motivated them by trailers. Starting like January, I've done like motivational trailers to help hype the social media up and make sure that they feel ready for the game and feel ready. Like Brady always does it for his regular season games. I know it's funny.
I think that's amazing that you're putting together some graphics and some video. Is that what you're doing in 1 minute increments and segments?
Well, yes, but it's actually more than a minute when you make trailers. Like I use iMovie when I use trailers, so that's what it is.
Okay, I don't even know how to do that myself. Stephanie Coro, you are one of the all-time great shooters in the history of Rhode Island basketball. Without even throwing out a bunch of numbers, because I don't want anybody to think that you're actually going to challenge me in my free throw percentage, but I think you are going to challenge me. What's the training been like for you this year? Last year you did the task in Rhode Island and you took it on and you were a champion and a warrior. What's it been like this year getting ready to shoot free throws for 24 hours?
This year I've been a little bit more prepared. Last year I was very sore at the end. So this year I've been shooting a lot. I've been outside shooting. This year we'll actually be indoors, which will be a little bit better because last year there was some wind, it was a little cold, but so I've just been shooting a lot, been lifting because I need, it's shooting free throws, but it takes a lot out of you, more than I thought.
Yeah, it's challenging, right? I think people, I know they look at me and they say, you're going to do what? And you're going to how? And how old are you? And it goes kind of like that progression in their mind, whether they say it or not. I'm reading what they're saying. A lot of people think this is a simple task. We both can speak to it because you and I are doing something unique in our states. We're doing most of the shooting. I'm doing all the shooting. I think you're doing most of the shooting in your state, unless you've taken on all of it. What's your plan for how you're going to make 24 hours of free throws happen?
Well, last year what I did is I started shooting and I was doing it all by myself. And then Ryan came to my rescue and he started finishing off my rounds, which was a huge help. And it gave him the spotlight, which he loves the spotlight. As you can tell, he's born to be in the spotlight. So I was so happy about that. This year, I'm hoping to have an athlete each hour to finish my shots. So I'll shoot 90 and they shoot my last 10 to get them more involved. Ryan's definitely going to be doing that. And just to make it more about the athletes, because that's what it's about. I'm the one shooting, but it's for them, and I want them to be as involved as possible. So of course, Ryan's going to be my number one. He's going to be by my side the whole time, but I do want to incorporate more athletes. So that's my plan, to shoot most of them and shoot all of them in the middle of the night when everybody else is sleeping. But I really do want to incorporate everybody else in this as well.
Stephanie, I agree with you. It's not really about the free throws. It's about the story and the platform to share the story. It's a vehicle to get the word out, to raise money, to raise awareness. We both understand why Special Olympics is so important. Why was it important for you, Stephanie, to get involved in this event?
It was important for me because in order to graduate, I did an internship with Special Olympics, and I wasn't very familiar with what they did. I wasn't very in tune with the community, but I immediately fell in love. The people who volunteer their time, the people who work there, the athletes, I just fell in love, and everything I can possibly do to be part of that, or to show them how much I love them, how much support they have, or do anything to help them go to their summer games, or I know Ryan's going to be competing, like just to show that support. I'll do anything possible for them, because they're just, they made my life better, and I want to do everything I can to make theirs better.
You're going to make me cry while I'm thinking about it, because I understand personally, obviously you understand the impact that we can have and what sport has meant to us. Ryan, when you hear Stephanie talk about wanting to make an impact on Special Olympic athletes and improve their experience, their training, their ability to compete, how does that make you feel about your relationship with Stephanie?
Well, I have to agree with Steph. Like, we're working to make sure the Special Olympic athletes get to be part of this event, and we're doing everything. So that's why I'm in love with Special Olympics as well, like Stephanie. But as an athlete coach this year, it's my responsibility to motivate Team Rhode Island to be their best and make sure that they do this event.
I think that's amazing. So what events are you going to compete in, and which events are you going to coach in the national games in June in Orlando?
Well, as for the events, it's for traditional basketball that I'm the athlete coach for, like a 5v5, and we are ready. And I told my guys at Team Rhode Island, and it was like in the fireside chat, I told them we have to like compete against different teams of the state of Rhode Island. Like, we act like we're in national games, basically, like if we're playing against Orlando, Florida, or as we played against Texas, California. Like, this is like huge motivation. And I tell my guys as well, like, they're lucky to be part of a team that over 1,000 athletes and coaches couldn't be in it. But it's just a similar feeling like when we were in the NCAAs, when Coach Cosgrove mentioned to the ankle women team that you're very lucky to be in the NCAAs, that 64 or maybe more than 64 teams couldn't even do in the NCAAs this year, and especially throughout 2 years during the pandemic.
Ryan, when I find enough capital and find enough investors, not only am I going to help Special Olympics, but I'm going to create a channel that runs, or a program that runs on some of these live streaming different platforms that we have when people cut the cord and go with Hulu and Disney Plus and other places. And when that happens, I'm going to hire you to do some interviews, because I think you would be a really good interviewer.
Yeah, that is true. I'll be definitely in. So
you definitely be in. Do you have an agent, or is that Stephanie? Is Stephanie your agent? Like, who do I negotiate with?
I can.
Well, count Stephanie as my agent.
There we go.
Everybody's got to have an agent, right?
Yep.
Stephanie, I can
Awesome.
see Ryan is your agent.
Yes.
Ryan, what are you going to do to help encourage Stephanie while she's making all these free throws?
Same as last year, like motivating her to be the best, like shooting free throws, like 90 of those free throws. Just like how I motivate these athletes to shoot some free throws, even though you get tired over it, but you have to be the best at free throws.
And Stephanie is such a good shooter. So I'm so excited to partner with the state of Rhode Island. Stephanie, I know after the first year, you had lots of ideas, things that you were looking to change, things that you came up with, including an online store where people can purchase some merchandise of 24 hours, nothing but net. Kind of tell us what changes you've made from year one to year two.
So with the store, my goal was to keep it open and anyone can purchase stuff. That way we could wear it for the event. And for Rhode Island, we have t-shirts coming. So we're all going to be wearing our t-shirts. Everyone's going to see that. But then year round, everyone can see what we're wearing. Hey, and then they can say, what is that? Okay, here's a way you can donate. Here's a way you can help. Here's a way you can be involved next year. So that's one thing we're doing. This year, we're opening it up to a bigger venue so we can have more people coming. We have fire departments coming. We have police departments coming. We have high school kids coming. We have so many people who are coming out. They're shooting, getting donations. So we're opening up to more of a community. Last year, it was more just me shooting. So now it's going to be competitions. Anybody who wants to come, anyone who wants to shoot, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter anything about you. So it's more of a community thing now and not just, hey, I'm in my backyard shooting. So we've opened it up so much, and Special Olympics of Rhode Island has helped so much get the word out. And Ryan, I mean, he's the MVP in every aspect of his life, especially in this. He's done videos, he's done promos, he's gotten the word out, he's recruited athletes. And I couldn't have done this without his help, without the help of Special Olympics Rhode Island, without the help of all these departments that are helping us. So it's going to be a pretty big event and I'm so excited.
I can't even begin to tell you how excited we are to be partnered with you in the second year, because this is what it is. I mean, this is what we're doing, right? If we can just get 1% better every day and just do one more thing to help someone else, we all make our communities better. And when I look at $415,000 that we all have raised, because we're all on the same team, you know, the money gets whatever money comes into Rhode Island stays in Rhode Island. South Carolina wants to help Rhode Island raise as much money as Rhode Island can raise. Rhode Island is helping South Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Minnesota, and Texas. When I think about how much people like you, Stephanie, have taken on the task, because it just takes one person to make a big difference for a community of people. And you have certainly done that by taking on this task, because we know physically it's not easy. It's mentally, physically, emotionally taxing, but at the end, it's worth it. Look at the friends that we make through Special Olympics. I mean, like, we're friends, right? Me, you, and Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ryan, what does it mean to be an athlete that competes in Special Olympics? What does it mean to you to be able to have the chance to compete?
Well, what it means to compete is, like, as an athlete, it means like we're spreading inclusion and acceptance for all. So in our organization, like Special Olympics, that's just the way it goes. We have to spread the word inclusion. We have to spread the word acceptance and say, oh, we feel accepted by playing in a sport. No matter what disability you have, no matter whatever you have, you get to play in a sport through this organization. And that's the MVP of this event, Special Olympics. And Stephanie's also the MVP because she's the one that helps with this, organize this event. She's in love with Special Olympics. That's what MVP is all about.
Ryan, what is your disability and how do you advocate for yourself with your disability?
Well, I have autism since I was like 18 months old. So like when I was 18 months old, I had autism, and I couldn't be able to speak till I was about 5. And all around, and my teachers from Lincoln, my teachers, my coworkers, my friends and family helped me overcome my disability. And I'm advocating for those who needed help, for people who have autism or any other disability. I'm trying to advocate for change, which is really good. Like, we want to make sure that these people with disabilities feel included, no matter what disability you have, like I said, to make sure they feel included in every single part of the way in life, like being part of a sport, being part of an event. That's something to look forward to as a person with disability and as a person without a disability.
Stephanie, when you hear Ryan speak about his disability, I only hear what he can do. I don't ever hear what he can't do. It's all about having the right attitude, which obviously Ryan has advocated for himself, and not only advocated for himself, but he is advocating for other people with disability, which is just special and unique to me. When you hear Ryan talk about some of his challenges of being a person living with autism, how inspiring is that for you? And does it factor in when you're in your workouts, like trying to get that last rep or that last set in?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ryan's absolutely amazing. The stuff that he accomplishes, disability or not, he's just so inspirational. He's so positive. He just loves so hard, and that's so inspirational. When I was shooting, even last year, it's 3 a.m. I just want to go to bed. And I'm like, if Ryan was here, he'd be cheering me on. And there's so many athletes that I'm doing this for. So it's Ryan and all the other athletes that I've come across in my life, and they're what it's all about. And that's the most inspirational thing. And Ryan, he'll text me every day and something inspirational, and it just gets me through the day. If I'm having a bad day, there's Ryan, and he's so positive, so happy, and he's just capable of so many great things that I'm so grateful for this event, because it brought him into my life, and I would never ever change that for anything.
We're all friends. I mean, that's the best part of it, right? Is we get to make fast friends. Stephanie, take us through, I mean, I know how humble and grateful I am for what you're doing, because I know shooting free throws, making 100 every hour for 24 hours is not an easy, simple task. So take me through what your detail is and how you plan on managing that 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. hours when you could feel some isolation in the gym. I know it doesn't take you that long to make 100 free throws. It takes me 10 to 15 minutes to make 100 free throws. What are you doing while that downtime is happening? Are you resting? Are you hydrating? How do you stay fueled?
So last year I did it so quickly that I was just trying to get it done, and then I had so much time off. But this year I'm going to slow down, take my time, so there's not as much of a gap in between. And I've tried to line up people to come and be there with me in the gym, because last year when I was alone by myself for a few hours, at one point I sat on the couch and was like, how am I ever going to get back up? But one of my friends came by, he's like, get up, you have to go do this, go outside. So I think having people there is definitely going to be the biggest thing. I'm going to try to eat more, even though it's the middle of the night. I have to find a way to keep myself from falling asleep. So I think being in a gym is going to help, because there's nowhere to lie down. I'm not going to lie in the bleachers. So it's struggled, but I'm going to do my best.
I'll give you a tip. The first year I was in a gym, as you know, now I'm in the driveway. The first year I put a tent with an air mattress in the corner of the gym, just in case I needed 15 minutes. And in the first year, and every year at 4 a.m., I take a shower. After I make my shots at 4 o'clock, I take a shower. I'm going to give you a tip. One of my neighbors is a pediatric nurse in the NICU unit, and she says to me that that's when our bodies start shutting down, and that's when the nurses in the NICU unit start bathing the babies. She said that keeps us moving, keeps us warm. So I decided that, well, if they're bathing the babies at 4 a.m., maybe I should take a shower. So in my mind, I thought, okay, that's one thing that I'm going to do. And I've done that, change clothes, try not to look at the time, just know when it gets close to the top of the hour to try to get my old bones moving and get ready, and hope that you have to rely on your training, right? You have to rely on everything that you've done, all the reps, just like when we were players in college. You know, you have to trust the process. And each year the process just keeps getting better and better. You keep getting better. I just keep getting older. But it's still amazing that you would take on this task alongside with me, and you serve as motivation for me as well too, Stephanie. So I want to thank you for that.
Of course.
Ryan, parting shot, what would be one thing you'd want to say to someone that's listening that has a chance to help Rhode Island by giving a penny for every free throw that is made? That's just $24 for Special Olympics Rhode Island. How would you inspire them to want to give and make a difference?
Well, I would inspire them by telling everyone on social media. I'll keep posting on social media about how this great event helps spread inclusion and acceptance, and nothing but net, like shooting free throws, like people with disabilities, tell them to come on by and say hello to and maybe shoot a couple free throws, like 10 of those free throws, while Steph does 90 of those free throws. That's just the way it goes. That's what's called inclusion and acceptance. And I would share that message to everyone who is listening on YouTube or any other way.
I love it. Stephanie, what would you say to those that are out there watching, listening, have a heart for this community of people that just need somebody that's willing to do a little bit more to help them?
I would say, even if you can't donate, show up. This event, Special Olympics, changed my life. The amount of people that it brought into my life, and any small donation, it helps, and it goes so much further than we think. Even $24 is going to go such a long way. And I know that shooting a lot of free throws is a lot, but that's not what we're asking. We're asking for a small donation. We're asking for some support. Just anything anyone can do. It really, really helps. And it helps. I mean, it's helped me. It helps me. It helps Ryan. It helps you. It helps everybody. So anything that we can do, just help out. It's so worth it.
You guys are amazing partners. You're tremendous friends. You're great ambassadors for Special Olympics. And I couldn't be more proud to partner with both of you on this event in our 4th year. Thank you so much for all the sweat, for all the work, for every bit of organization, every call, every grassroots part of this to make this event special for people like Ryan and people that are living with disability.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you very much. And shout out to the Anchor Women and Team Rhode Island.